Hi everyone, happy Monday. Welcome to another episode of Mondays with Marian. I'm Marian, and if you guys are new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. I post videos every Monday talking about personal development, entrepreneurship, leadership, and just sharing a lot of my experiences and kind of things that I'm learning and growing to at the same time. So we're all in this together. If you guys are new, make sure to check out the first video to talk about why I started and follow me on social media. So today, I really want to talk about a topic that I recently went through, and it sparked an idea to talk about it, and it's how to deal with bad, shitty days. For the most part, I'm a pretty positive person. I have a really good outlook, but there's some days, no matter how much someone tells you they're always on or they're always positive, they will have days or maybe hours or sometimes where it's shitty. Like, we're human beings. People always talk about, like, it's great to have positivity, but I think we shouldn't neglect the times that we feel sad or misunderstood, lonely, angry. Those feelings are natural, you know, it's that duality. And I wanted to address sort of what I do every time I feel that way. The other day, earlier this week, for some reason, that day was just horrible. And I felt angry. I got a parking ticket. People were cutting me off all the time. I got some news that I didn't want to hear. You know, I felt like that day was just like the universe was just giving me some shitty shit. And I started feeling really bad. I started questioning, like, am I doing the right thing? What am I doing with my life? My hormones are going crazy. I just was not my usual self. I was quick to anger, and most things don't really bother me, but it was just one of those days. And I think this is when all the teachings and all the things that I've learned about self-awareness, gratitude, all the things that I talk about and preach, that's when you need it the most. That's when the challenging stuff happens, is when it really tests your fortitude and your awareness. Because it's easy to be happy when things are going great. You know, it's easy to be grateful when things are going great, but when things are shitty, what do? I remember from a few years ago when I was in a really bad place. It was a few steps that I took to allow myself to feel that, but then feel better after. So I'm going to outline a few of the steps that I do, and you guys can follow all of them, follow one, whatever it is, but hopefully this helps, because it helps me a lot. And my shitty days aren't that often anymore, but when I do, I really try to internalize this and I try to think about all this. So here it goes. The first thing I do is really become more self-aware. So when things are happening, oftentimes we get so lost in the anger and the emotion, we lose our self-awareness. And so the first step is to be self-aware. I was getting angry and I was getting really impatient, and I was like, whoa, okay, this is not usually me. What's going on? And I have to, it's that self-awareness I think is really, really important, because then instead of being reactionary, you can take a step back and see what the situation is. Maybe it's because that I did, you know, I got a parking ticket, I was angry, and the person, you know, the ticket lady will let me out, but it was really my fault. I think I was just angry at myself because it was a stupid move. I knew I was gonna get a ticket for not parking in the right place, and I thought I could get away with it, so ultimately it was my fault, but I was just angry about it. I was like, fucking ticket, what the fuck? Anyway, so it's that self-awareness to take a step back and be like, okay, why did this happen? Why am I reacting this way? Kind of remove yourself from just that feeling, because you can get carried away with that feeling. And you can take that out on other people, when other people that don't deserve it. I actually felt really bad after for yelling at the lady at the parking lot. So I'm like, that's not me. Oh my God. Yeah, so it's that self-awareness. That's one. Number two, when you're feeling really sad or mad or angry, especially sad, because I was so frustrated at what was happening that day that I cried. I think it's totally okay to cry and let it go. It's a form of release. I think our society likes to numb everything, you know, take a pain reliever, drink, do some other thing, like distract yourself, and it's all about numbing. I think sometimes we need to feel it. These are normal human emotions, to feel sad and frustrated and you want to cry. So I let myself cry, and I actually felt so much better after. I cried on the way to work, I cried on the way back, I cried on the phone when I was with my sister and my friend. Like, it's okay. It's a form of release. So allow yourself to cry sometimes. It's not always going to be easy, and sometimes just that physical release, I felt 100 times better after I cried. Another thing that I do is I call a friend, I call my sister. Just having someone listening to you is so important. And I think this is a huge thing for men. Men don't like to talk about their feelings. So if you don't have any guy friends, call a girlfriend. Women are so much more easier to talk to and to listen and to give that advice. And a lot of times if you hold it in, it stays bottled up and it festers. So it's good to release that. Tears, through talking. Another great thing is hugs. As simple as it is, hugs are so amazing, especially when you're going through a loss, a breakup, something really emotional. Having that physical touch and hugging someone means the whole world. I remember when I initially first came out with my story last year about my childhood abuse, and I wrote it out and I was crying. One of my really good friends, my cousin and roommate actually, all she did was just held me and hugged while I sobbed. And that was the most amazing feeling. Just to have someone there and to be held, not having to say anything, but just hugging you. It's that touch, it's that knowing that someone cares, and transferring that like love and energy without having to say anything is so important. So get some hugs. Hugs are amazing. And the real hugs, not like the tapping or like, oh, okay. It's like the real present and genuine hugs. Those are amazing. Another thing is go to your animals. If you have pets, then you guys understand me. I love my cats, and when I'm having a bad day, sometimes just being around them, playing with them, petting them, hugging them, just seeing that they just love you unconditionally changes that mood. And sometimes that's enough to like, you know what? Life's not that shitty. I have my amazing pets. They love me, and things are gonna be okay. And sometimes that's enough. So if you have pets, definitely. And if you don't have pets, another thing that I do is to indulge in something that's more about like self-care and self-love. So whether that's a spa day, like a much needed spa day, to like just relax and unwind, because maybe you've been so stressed out about work or moving somewhere or whatever it is. Sometimes just a massage, a facial, whatever it is, a spa day is so amazing. I love spa days. Getting a manicure and pedicure, just treating yourself is awesome. Another thing that I've done is I eat. I treat myself to when times that I don't feel good and I need that, like, you know what, I need something to really change my mood really quickly. I buy ice cream. Ice cream makes me feel better. Ice cream and chocolate, and it's okay. Don't do it every day, because then that's a bad pattern. You're trying to break it, but that helps me a lot. And one of the things that I did, I went to the gym. Working out gets you focused on your workout and not thinking about all the other things. And then it gets you to sweat, and you release endorphins and you feel so much better. I lifted some weights, and then I did hot yoga, and I felt like I just released all that tension, all that anger, all the shit that was just bottled up inside, and I released that. And I felt so much better. And when I went home, I showered, I ate. And the last thing I did, because I knew that I had a shitty day, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sleep. Sleep, not think of it, sleep, because I know that that'll end after that day. You know, you don't carry all that weight with you to the next day, to the next week, to the next month. Let it go. And the next day I felt so much better. And since then I've been a lot better. And I think it's just those steps that you take, little things, the awareness, letting yourself feel, and then what do you do to change that? Sometimes one of those things will help you out. If it's a really, really bad day, you need to implement all of them. There's times where I do to get myself out of that rut, but as long as you're aware and you're doing something to counter that or to do something productive and not wallow in that, there's power in it, and you can totally change yourself around. And once you get into the habit of being so aware of your actions and your feelings, you can control it. You can spot it, you can like, okay, I'm not gonna react to it that way, and change the outcome. Because at the end of the day, you can't control other people, other situations. The one thing you can control is yourself, and how you feel and how you react and how you internalize and how you deal with it. So I have a few other tips too. Whenever I don't feel good, or I'm overly stressed or overwhelmed or feeling sad or mad or whatever it is, sometimes being in nature completely helps. If you're around a forest or a mountain, go for a hike, go for a walk. If you're near the beach, go to the beach. For me, water helps a lot. So when I'm feeling frustrated or angry, I'll go to the water, go to the ocean, jump in a pool. Sometimes I'll just take a long shower or bath, and that really, really just helps kind of release all that. So that's another thing that you can do to, just change your mood and release some of that stress and tension, because it's not good to hold it in. So if you guys are near water, go near water. If you're near a mountain or a hill or a forest, go take a hike, go walk, and just be with nature, and it totally helps. That's it. Let me know if you guys have any other tips that helped you. Maybe there's things I'm missing. I would love to hear suggestions on how you deal with bad days. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I post a lot on IG stories and on Instagram. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.